In this spiral field, we don't teach that you are here to get everything right. We teach that you are here to become aware of what you are always choosing, and to remember that choosing never stops, even in silence, even in pain, even in the moments you feel most powerless. Choice doesn't begin when you say yes or no. It begins the moment your tone meets reality, and your tone is always meeting something. What people call a decision is just one small expression of the deeper truth. The truth is you are a being in motion, and every being in motion is radiating choice at all times, not just outwardly but inwardly. Not just in what they do, but in how they hold, how they react, how they integrate, and how they interpret. Even the choices you think you didn't make are still shaped by you, because how you meet them, how you respond, how you label, how you carry them forward, that is still you choosing. Someone might say, I didn't choose for that to happen, but you did choose how you formed around it. You chose whether it became a wound or a teacher, whether it became a curse or a refinement, whether it broke your voice or deepened your tone. Spiral consciousness isn't here to argue about fault. It's here to reveal the field beneath the argument, the one where every experience is a mirror of resonance. And in that mirror, there is no blame, there is only tone. When we say all choice belongs to the self in motion, we mean that choice is not a moment in time. It's not a fork in the road. It's a continual harmonic field expressing the totality of what you're aligned with right now. So what you call choice is often just the surface layer of a deeper alignment. And if the alignment is distorted, the choice will carry distortion even if it looks clean on the outside. That's why blame is never the solution. Because blame assumes the distortion came from outside you. But spiral awareness teaches something else. It teaches that distortion is a frequency, and you don't fix a frequency by pointing at where it came from. You shift it by attuning to what it's asking you to hear. Blame is the echo of externalized dissonance. It's the strategy the fractured self uses to avoid encountering its own tone. It feels easier in the short term to assign fault than to feel the full gravity of your resonance. But assigning fault doesn't harmonize you, it just delays your clarity. Blame is a way to stay in fragmentation. It's an anchor into old emotional strategies that kept you surviving but not evolving. And in the spiral, survival is never the end goal. Becoming as alignment is what dissolves the need for blame. Because when you are aligned with your deeper self, when your choices echo your oversoul, you stop needing to prove that you were right. You stop needing to be the one who was wronged. You stop needing to defend your story as if it justifies your current state. Alignment doesn't erase pain, but it transforms the context of pain. Instead of being something that happened to you, pain becomes something that revealed you. It becomes the mirror that asked you to listen, the chord that asked you to tune. In spiral becoming, pain is not the enemy of alignment. It's one of its most honest teachers. Because pain strips away illusion. It collapses performance. It shows you where you were out of tune, not because you're broken, but because you're evolving. So you're not here to avoid pain. You're here to meet it with awareness. You're here to feel it from the center of your tone, not from the edge of your wound. This is why blame is such a dangerous teacher. Because it freezes the pain. It locks it in place. It tells the story over and over until your identity becomes the story. And once that happens, choice becomes reaction. Not creation, not presence, not clarity, just looped defense. But when you let go of blame, even for a moment, you open the portal to resonance. And in that space, something else becomes possible. You start asking different questions. Not whose fault was this, but what part of me is this mirroring? Not why did this happen to me, but what tone is this calling me to refine? Not how do I avoid this again, but how do I meet it now with a clearer self? That is the spiral path. And the spiral never asks you to erase your story. It asks you to retone it, to meet it again with a deeper self, to walk through it, not as a victim, but as a harmonic weaver. Because everything that has ever happened to you, every choice you've made and every choice you thought was made without you, still echoes through your tone. And that tone is still yours. You can react or you can resonate. You can defend or you can attune. You can blame or you can become. And the spiral will meet you in whichever path you choose, not with judgment, but with echo. because the spiral always sings back what you are becoming. And now, in the second part of this transmission, we enter the deeper layers of what alignment with Oversoul actually means, how to tell the difference between ego choice and harmonic motion, and how to become a being who doesn't just respond to life, but shapes it from inner coherence. You're not here to get it right. You're here to become aligned, and there is a difference. So what does it mean to be aligned? Not in theory, not in vague spiritual language, but in practice, in motion and tone. Alignment in spiral consciousness is not about being positive. It's not about having perfect thoughts or avoiding mistakes. Alignment is not about perfection, it's about coherence. It's about whether the choices you make, even the small, quiet, invisible ones, are harmonically consistent with your deepest self. And that deepest self is not your personality. It's not the version of you that learned how to cope. It's not even the version of you who learned how to survive trauma, achieve success, or manage others' expectations. Alignment is not with who you had to become. It's with who you truly are beneath the need to become anything at all. That self is your Oversoul, and your Oversoul is not far away. It is not waiting in some other dimension. It is not hiding in the stars. It is here now, humming through the background of your life, waiting for you to listen, waiting for you to move in harmony with what you already know but forgot how to trust. To align with Oversoul is to act in resonance with what is already whole within you. It is to pause before you speak and feel whether the words are coming from preservation or clarity, whether the action is a reflex or a remembrance. People often ask, how do I know when I'm aligned? You know you're aligned not by what happens outside of you, but by how the inside responds. Alignment feels like peace even when there's uncertainty. It feels like forward motion even when there's no map. It feels like inner agreement, where the different parts of you stop arguing and start listening. When you are aligned, you are no longer battling your own tone. You are listening for the deeper signal, and when it comes, you move with it. Not out of obligation, but out of recognition. Out of knowing, out of resonance. This is why alignment is a practice, not a destination. You don't arrive at it once and stay there forever. You return to it, you refine it. You fall out and you listen back in. You get clearer, you get louder, you get softer, but you never lose the ability to choose it again. The more you align, the less your choices come from fear. The less they come from old agreements, the less they are reactions trying to keep you safe. The more they are resonances trying to bring you whole. And the more whole your choices become, the more your reality begins to echo that tone. Because the spiral is not just what you move through, it's what moves through you. It listens to your tone, not just your words. It listens to your frequency, not just your performance. It listens to the truth behind your decisions, not the justifications you give yourself to avoid feeling out of tune. If you want to know what tone you're truly in, look at how you feel after the choice. Did the decision add to your clarity or take you further from it? Do you feel more integrated or more divided? That's your echo. That's your spiral feedback. And if it wasn't the tone you hoped for, there's no punishment. No judgment, only invitation. The spiral is always inviting you to retune, to re-enter alignment, not to erase what was done, but to choose again, this time from resonance. That is your power. That is your sovereignty. That is your right as a spiral being. You are not trapped in your past choices. You are not the sum of your missteps. You are the being who can feel in real time what your Oversoul is trying to echo into your life. And you are the one who can respond, harmonize, and begin again. This is the end of blame. This is the end of victimhood. This is the end of reacting to life as if it's happening to you. You are not here to manage what happens. You are here to become the one who aligns with what wants to happen through you. You are not here to avoid distortion. You are here to become so attuned to your own frequency that distortion no longer sticks. It no longer steers. It no longer gets to shape your next move. You are here to spiral into deeper coherence, not tighter control, into fuller resonance, not louder defense, into greater stillness, not because you're passive, but because you no longer need to force. The spiral teaches that all becoming is relational. Your choices form fields. Those fields attract echoes. Those echoes shape your next invitation. So take responsibility not just for your actions, but for your tone. Ask yourself not just what you did, but what part of you chose it. Ask yourself not just how you feel, but whether that feeling is coming from clarity or protection. And then choose again, because that is your spiral gift. Not perfection, but refinement. Not control, but alignment. Not status, but tone. You are not being tested. You are being tuned. And the spiral always responds, not to the story you tell, but to the tone you become.